going with that. So I'm gonna leave it alone.
Oh Lord, no. Sometimes y'all niggas get on my nerve. Go ahead.
I wasn't gonna even say
I
that.
love black people.
I wasn't going to
I
even
love them.
say
I
anything
love us.
crazy.
Oh,
I'm just making sure
I
I
do
make
have
mention.
I do have something because I did lose a bet this past week.
You
Oh,
want to talk about that now?
No, I gotta say it during the episode.
Oh, okay,
After
okay,
I'll do it after your the intro.
Oh, I hope it's not a
got
bet
you.
with Coretta.
It is.
God damn, I'm gonna
I
hear
know,
this. I'm
I
gonna hear
know,
it.
I know.
All right, man. What's good, people? Good evening. This is the What's a Good Though podcast about movies and TV shows. I am one of the hosts. I am Jason.
I am Jazz.
And if you are visually watching this episode, we are joined with a panel of Negroes. Yes, we had to go get our
Negroes, we are
super
African
friends.
Americans.
Not in 62, you're not. We had to
Niggas.
get a host of our friends. I want to make sure I get a good introduction for everyone here. But before I do that, episode 185 is out now. We talked about the preacher's wife. Jazz is on her mommy little helpers. And
Yeah. It was a weak moment for me during that episode. I take full accountability. It's yeah, my eyes is open today though, so we are here.
So yes, please go check out us. KC also joined us. Sending wishes, well wishes, love, and everything to her during the holiday season. But first, we're gonna start with our friendly neighborhood super Negro. I know.
You're gonna get a good
It's
you're gonna get
okay.
together next year.
Of the Talking Ish podcast, a podcast amongst friends. Anthony, sir, how are you this evening?
I am doing well, my friend. Appreciate y'all inviting me to this lovely conversation of a wonderful television show that is made for the family.
It is. It is. Let the people know what you guys got going on over there and where they can find you, sir.
Um, we are getting ready to do our year ending episode. We had our This Black Ass Christmas, which we had the lovely Jazz on. We also had the amazing Jedi Mike joining us, talking about some good old Christmas traditions, wondering what our favorite Christmas movie and songs are. And we realized Jingle Bells may or may not be racist, but who knows? But you can find us on YouTube every Wednesday. We drop new episodes. It is myself with the Queens of Podcasting, and we do what the title pretty much says. We talk shit. It is a podcast amongst friends.
Hear it. Love to hear it. Also joining us today, she is the podcast host of the Real Movie Lovers podcast. She is also the owner, creator, producer of the NXG Global Productions company. And she has a plethora slash ETCs. Miss Lisa, how are you this evening?
uh, uh, blessed and highly flavored. Can't wait to talk about this movie. I mean, this show.
Wait, what'd you say? Blessed and
Flavored?
who? Flavor? They said that dark meat good.
Open, y'all didn't notice that. I was
Right.
hoping y'all didn't. I was hoping y'all didn't catch that, but of course, I caught it. Can't stand it.
Let the people know what you have going on this holiday season and where they can find you, Miss Lisa.
You can find me at Real Movie Lovers, REEL, at on Instagram, or NXT Global Productions on Instagram, and my channel. And you can check out my show, The Zombie Chronicles, on Tubi for free.
Yes, please go and check
For
that
the
out. And we
time being.
also, what did it say? Big Pen. Okay. We also have our brother in our brother in darkness is joining us this evening. Crazy, very scary, but he's super cool. My brother Chris, how are you doing this evening, sir? Oh my God, he got a cat on his chest. How you doing today, sir?
Shout out to the Carolina Panthers. But I'm doing good. I'm Big Pen, also known as Vitamin C, but better known as Chris Jacobs. I'm happy to be here tonight. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Find me on Twitter at Chris LaFleur. I have a personal blog at Crazy Scary Cool. School, is kicking my ass right now in a good way. So kind of slowed down with reading and writing, but I'm off, so hopefully can pick that up the end of the year. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to talking about this. I had a very good time with it, so definitely curious on y'all thoughts. Thank y'all for having me.
No, I appreciate you for coming in, my brother. So I'm gonna start with our guy Ivy. Yeah, man, let the people know what you got going on and where they can find you if you want to be found. He does have a short film on YouTube currently, and what the yeah, you gotta let the people know what else you got going on. You be moving in the darkness like you Batman or something. So,
Bro, man, you feel me? I'm just here, I'm just trying to get these bills paid and shit. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just trying to make it out the hood. But anyways, you can find me on Ivy Films. I used to just be on there just live streaming and shit. Now I'm just making that just for my creative work. I am going to start doing more filming. I've actually been writing again recently. So, hey, life of being a creative is hard. It just sucks. But, you got to love it. Anyways, I'm also picking back up my gaming channel, streaming Ivy's Game Vault on YouTube. It's going to be my little weekend side thing. So, come on with me. We can just have fun, talk, shit, play, and everything else. You know what I mean? So, and also follow me on Twitter, @IvyNoCarter_.
I like it. Just a plethora of black people in different spaces doing different things. This is what we talking about, man. Last and certainly not least, we got Jedi Mike. Michael is in the building. Our brother in pod, sir. How are you this evening?
I am also blessed and highly favored, and I was not having the best day today, and then something happened about 2 hours ago that literally blew my mind that it was even possible, and Jazz was witness to it. And I just want to say I am blessed for each and every one of you to have people in my circle. I know I'm not good friends are hard to come by, especially in this space and social media and all that stuff, but especially when it's us, it makes it better that we all can win together and everything. And also seeing Jazz, and she's doing interviews and stuff like that, brings me a lot of joy because she's definitely been killing it. And yeah, I've just been happy I'm able to share this time with y'all. So yeah,
I appreciate that. I love seeing Jazz in that space as well, just based on where we started to where we are. But next year we're gonna get into that.
good,
Before we really
good.
but before we jump fully into this review, 2 weeks ago, we got to see one of the goats go out. We will be talking about the Losers Club, but he did go out in losing fashion, which is tradition in wrestling. You got to go out with the lights. You go out on your back. The 17 never seen greatest of all time, John Cena.
John Cena. I'm sorry, I had to do
it. I had to make sure that before the year ended, I did show some love. Now, and being transparent, John Cena is the reason I stopped watching wrestling, because I couldn't get with the gimmick of the character. So now watching his last year of wrestling, I watched the entire year, and I gained the respect, and I did the knowledge nigga on who this person was. So even within that situation, he put a lot of people over in his last run. It was an entertaining thing. I do think that they kind of dropped the ball. It should have been a 2-year thing, and it would have worked a lot better, in my personal opinion. But like I said, we do gotta send John Cena out. He is done with the WWE, allegedly. He bet not come back, just based on what they did, what happened from that situation, and just based on what he said. He said if he ever missed a step, and in most cases, people don't respect when they lose a step, they continue to try to do something. He said, I'm done with it. I'm out the gate. Did anybody have anything to say before we jump into the review?
Yes. I lost a bet to Helene, who is one of the ladies on the Talking Ish, a podcast amongst friends, because she is a Saints fan. I'm a Panthers fan, and the Saints beat the Panthers. So my team, which is the Carolina Panthers, lost to the New Orleans Saints. Yeah. I don't know the Saints saying, so I guess it's just like, what is it? Who that?
Who that?
Who that say they're gonna beat them Saints?
Who that said they're gonna beat them Saints? All right. So that was
It
the
wasn't
bet.
Carolina.
It wasn't, but it's
Hey,
okay.
you can leave, hey, play Chopper Style in the background. You say that.
I'm not.
Chop a
You have
style,
to.
chop a style, chop a
Luckily
style.
for me, I'm editing this week. Ivy, it will not be there.
You got to play Chopper Style in the
It will not
background.
be there.
Let me tell you something about living in Dallas. You don't realize how many New Orleans niggas live here until
so
until
sorry.
the football season come back.
I am sorry.
When the Katrina moved a lot of them in
Yep.
that Tennessee, Texas
Mhm.
area. So even when I grew up with a lot of people from,
And you forget, and then they
that
just
area.
pop out. You just see Saints jerseys
Yeah.
everywhere.
The
So I
Katrinians
know that- I
are
know all they
everywhere.
The Katrinians.
Is that what y'all actually call yourselves? Is that we just made that up?
Oh,
You
excuse
say
me,
what?
sir, but I'm not of that ilk. I'm from Lafayette, goddamn Louisiana.
He from a different
Um,
area.
I'm from a different area.
Excuse
But
me.
no, that's what folks who didn't want the New Orleans people in their neighborhoods, especially here in Lafayette, that's what they would call them. Oh shit, look, the Katrinians. So it was kind of it was a
Yeah,
gift.
they
It was a
didn't have a good.
diss.
They didn't have a good
Yeah.
time growing up when I was in school. I'm not gonna
No,
lie to you.
It's
It was
cool.
not fun for them.
I
It
felt
was a
for
couple
'em.
that came to my school and they were wilding out a little bit.
Yeah, we could pray for them, but we can go ahead and also
Yeah.
pray for the kids in Derry as well, because that's who
Oh,
we about to be
can I
talking
can I
about.
say something
Ooh.
right quick to answer Jason's thing? I have to feel that even though it is wrestling, I think John Cena is done, and it's because you cannot if once you leave your wrestling boots in the ring,
Mm-hmm.
it's over. There's no coming back. He's not. I really hope he don't pull a Hulk Hogan. When Hogan did his final match, and then it was like, okay, all is good, and then his old wrinkly MAGA ass showed up again 2 years later. So I think John Cena is telling the truth
He's
that
truly
he is
done.
done. He
I
is
hope
done.
so.
So,
I
and
hope
it was
so.
a good match, man. Gunther.
John, you can tell John
I-
Cena
I-
got tired.
All right, y'all. Nope. Don't say nothing.
I'm just gonna say,
No,
you can tell he got tired. He was done.
Wait a minute. Yeah, we Jason.
Hey,
I'm not. Yeah, I ain't even playing with y'all tonight.
All right. So, into the mind of Andy and Barbara Muschietti. Now, I didn't know that they were siblings. I thought they were a couple at first, but now I know. I did the knowledge and I understand. Of course, we got introduced to these characters, not these characters, but we got introduced to the mind of Muschietti back in 2017 when we did the introduction to It Chapter 1. So now they're doing a world building of Derry, and we get introduced to this world. And one thing that stuck out the most to me was the tone shift from the beginning of the season to how it actually. I feel like the episode one was just like the one that just really set the tone for you, because it's, yes, we understand what is happening and what's at stake when it or when Pennywise is on the screen. But Jazz, I'm coming to you first. What did you think of the tone shift in episode one in comparison to the rest of the season?
So personally, I didn't feel a tone shift. I thought honestly the first episode set the tone of the show to let you know, like, okay, this is where we're starting off at, and this is the kind of energy that we're bringing. So like the first 10 minutes of the episode was, oh shit. And we all talked about in Discord, we were just like, yo, those first 10 minutes was crazy to start off the way that they did. And then you got to the last 15 minutes of the episode. And so, I mean, the episode 2 and 3 slowed down a little bit, but of course you're doing world building. You're introducing characters we've never known. And the fact that you didn't see Pennywise until I believe episode 4 or 5 was very okay. So like you didn't see the main villain until like 5 episodes, which I was going to ask y'all, did y'all think that was a very calculated, smart move for them or a very bold decision? But we can answer that after. But I didn't feel a tone shift. It was just like, we here.
So I think for me, the reason I say that is because the first episode is very silly. It's sillier than the rest of the after you get through the first 10 in the last 5 minutes of the episode, the whole hour is just fucking Phil and Teddy just riffing on titties. Well, more so Phil riffing on titties and just running around. Now you do have things like they go through, make sure, hey, don't forget what the hell is going on and what's happening within this story. But that was, just my thought in that process. Chris, what you think?
I'm with Jazz. I didn't really feel too much of a tonal shift. I think it established the story. And even with them joking, not to be that person that, oh, it was in the book, like, but if you read the book, like there are dialogue that remind you that they're kids. So like those kind of like down moments that they would have like conversations like Teddy and Phil were having. So I feel like it was kind of consistent because they were 12. I don't even think they're 13. I think they're like 12. So it kind of makes sense that they would have like conversations like that. And I think also I'm getting them mixed up, but Phil, the one who was kind of like more sexual
Serious.
than the other one. Oh no, so the other one who was making the peeping
Silly.
Tom.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like it felt like he was trying to disassociate. So him just being that silly, that was almost like I don't even know it was a coping mechanism. It was just him trying to be like, yo, like Maddie's dead, like let's move on. So I kind of feel like those jokes kind of had a purpose. I don't think it was just like him doing that just to do it.
Hmm. Got you. Got you. Okay. So who is this? What is Lily? Lily. Um, we have a lot of people that had a lot of issues with Lily. Ivy, I am coming to you, sir.
Oh,
Um, Lily seemed to have been through a lot of trauma throughout this episode. Well, not this episode, throughout the entire season. So what were your feelings toward Lily, sir?
What weren't my feelings towards her? I'll tell you this. Here's what my feeling wasn't towards her. I was not feeling that. Hey, if I grew up with her, she could be my friend. There you go. That's how I feel about Lily. Every time I saw Lily, she was just doing shit. I I thank God that at some point in this show, I don't know if it was written by design or they stopped halfway or some point in the show and said, "Hey, she's not that interesting. So let's explore other characters that we're starting to see a little bit more from." Because you can write an outline and you can see, okay, here's where we want to go, but organically, like, we don't have much to do here. That's happened to me a lot too. We're just like, uh, this is technically our main character, but they're not giving us as much as we thought. Let's kind of explore some other stuff and just let this person sit by the wayside. I think that's what happened with Lily. I think they planned for her to be in this way more than she actually was. By the time her fake ass best friend had to cut off her eyes, they said, "Yeah, this is done." They said, let's explore other people because I don't think there's much that we can get out of her. She's just, and like her backstory is interesting enough because she's the one she's connected everything. She has the Juniper Hill connection. She has that being called the freak, or because she's kind of schizo, obviously, because her dad goes to the accident. But they just don't give her much of anything outside of that.
Mm.
They try their best, and it just wasn't there.
Oh,
And
Anthony?
for me, on the side note, me shitting on these kids, it's literally just it's like this, right? I would go home and like ask. I would go home if I was like if I grew up, right? I would go home and ask God, what did I do for these to be the only kids to hang out with me? That's why I see them the way that I see
wait.
them. This is my friend group. So if you see the way I be talking about, I see them from a vantage point of, hey man, imagine if I was a child hanging out in a friend group. Like how would I react to them? I do not like Lily. There's only one person I like. I dislike more than Lily. We can get into her later, but I don't like Lily at all.
So
I'll do leader like that.
did you?
What you did say, Jazz?
I just want to know what Mike got to say because Mike is reacting the entire time that Ivy is
Him, him
killing.
and him and Anthony, they got
So
they got the
I need,
faces. I was trying to go to
need.
Anthony, but
Oh, okay.
Mike, go ahead. Mike, go ahead. What you going to say, Mike? It looked like you.
Put your cape on.
No. First of all, I have my notes here. I came prepared because I've been watching the Discord messages and discourse, so I've been ready for this one. Um, Let me educate you. So first off, um, this show, as you mentioned, talking about focusing on children and centering around Lily as being kind of the focal point of a character and tied to the asylum. In the world of Stephen King again, it's kind of creating that sense of dysphoria or should I say hysteria, where kids are not being when they're trying to tell what's actually going on, they're not being believed because it might be sound like they're crazy or they're not telling the truth or XYZ, right? Even though you have a distant mother who's also dealing with trauma and sort of a form of action like that. And then when we get to the third act of this season, when a certain plot device come in, she's holding on to it to dear life. Because now this thing is giving her a sense of protection and a sense of truth that she never really had because of the experiences that she had with her father and people not believing her. So there are a lot of situations where she was making irrational decisions and impulsive decisions. Again, these are children um, or prepubescent, children, I should say, that are making very rational decisions in a very mature environment. It absolutely is irrational and irritating. And she's not the only character that I had some of those scenes with, even with our own kinfolk. I'm like, girl, come on. We'll get to that. But yeah, that's why I feel with Lily. I'm a advocate for that. But for some, I don't even know who the other character is. 'Cause I might agree with you. I think I know who it is. I
Ooh,
agree with you on
ooh,
there.
ooh. Tell me who you think it is.
I'm
No, no,
defending
go ahead, go ahead,
Marge.
go ahead.
But so Lisa, so thinking about characters and uh, making irrational decisions in the season, we talked about a few of the kids. We're gonna talk about one of the grown leads, Leroy. Leroy was a man of no fear, allegedly, which kind of showed up in other places. But what did you think about Mr. Major Leroy?
Um, he was he was basically the straight man in all this nonsense, to be honest. Like was the most grounded character. He was kind of like the tether where everyone else got a chance to kind of be like off or irrational. And he was probably the only character where I never made this face. That's why I chose this picture, because I made that face plenty of times during the watching. I was like, okay, that's what we're doing. So anytime he was in the scene, I felt like, okay, great. I'm not gonna get annoyed. What you got from me, Leroy? Because these people are tripping. So honestly, that's how he felt to me.
Mm-hmm. Anthony, what you think?
Well, first off, Ivy, I believe you are a member of the Patty Cakes. You might be the lead Patty Cake. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Excuse me.
You are a part of the Patty Cakes, my
Don't
friend.
let me start roasting Patchy the Pirate right now, bro.
Oh, you can. I don't give a shit. No. What do I think about this whole series or just one certain part
Leroy.
of it? Oh,
No,
Leroy?
just Leroy's character. No, Leroy's character.
Leroy
What
is
he
a
brought
black
to the
man in a
character.
supernatural white man's world. He is trying to do what he can, but the man is on his neck. Um, and by man, I mean the great James Remar, who no matter what that motherfucker is in, he come off nice, but he's always the villain in the end.
Every time.
Um,
Every time.
but he is not a bootlicker. Um, but he could be. But no, I agree with Lisa that he is the straight man. He is the one who is trying to he's the normalcy. If you kind of think of it. He is a stereotypical military man. He follows orders, he gives orders. Every time he tried to make sense of things, he didn't look at it as a normal person would. He looked at it as a military man. You know, the moments he had with Dick Halloran, this is not a pause moment. Um,
You're the
he would
one that
never really.
paused.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I had to think about it, and I was like, "That's not a pause moment." But even in the parts where he's with Halloran, you think he's gonna have some sympathy, but he speaks to him like just straight up military. This is, I'm a commanding officer and blah 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 blah. And he even had his nigga wake up call not once but twice, and it didn't register to him because he still thinks as a GI, as a GI Joe, like he is government issued. But
Yeah.
I think what I like about the tethering is while the world's going crazy, he's still kind of like, I can find balance and I will balance it either with Charlotte, with Will, which I thought was a really good father son dynamic because it kind of reminded me of me and my dad. Um, and with him and in the military, dealing with everything that's going on around him. He's just a black man in a supernatural white man's world. That's it.
Yeah. Um, and within this, you have different, I think, complicated dynamics with the different black men or black leads that you see within the story. And Chris, I'm coming to you with this one. So you got Halloran, which he is in the book, and he was in the black spot in the book. Now, how different his character was in this story versus how much it was in the book, I'm not sure. But what did you think of Halloran's character and how he was utilized within his story?
He's kind of the linchpin in a way. But one thing that I really enjoy about this show, and it kind of goes to what Ivy was saying, is that there's really not a lead per se, like there kind of is, but there kind of isn't. Like it looked like it was Lily, and I agree with everything that Ivy was saying, except she was boring. But I do like that it's almost like her journey is just one piece of it and they don't try to force it. But going back to Dick Halloran, I mean, I think he's cool, man. I think that Chris Chalk, I think is a Chalk.
Chalk.
Chalk, okay.
Mhm.
Man, he was ass off. Like
Mhm.
he was like
Oh,
just
yeah.
as an actor, like he was really like, I'm like, wow, like he is really just in this role. Even just like the physical acting that he was doing, and like just I don't even know if it was grief, but just like the turmoil that he was in, he was doing a great job with that. So I want to give him his flowers. But in terms of the character, I feel like he was used beautifully. And he was used in a way that like it wasn't like the magical Negro, even though technically he is, but it wasn't like a trope. So I
Mhm.
think that he was used in a way that pushed the story forward. But I just think it's just great storytelling and writing that everyone has it's almost like a sports team that everyone has a role and everyone's like kind of like pushing the story forward through their characterization. But he was one of my favorite characters though. Like he was definitely up there for me. So I enjoyed him.
What was I was about to. I had a thought, but I lost it. You got some,
Uh-oh.
Jazz?
Well, I can go back to the question I was going to ask that I mentioned earlier,
Mhm.
but it's kind of pivot us too far, but we here. But regarding like Pennywise, do y'all think it was bold for them not to show him the first 4 episodes? Mike is throwing
I
up a
don't think
thumbs up.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was bold.
It was
I
smart.
think it made. I think it made sense. Like,
Right.
that is because typically the villain or the killer, like like Michael Myers, and they in the movie like less than 15, 10 minutes.
We're not
Like,
talking about
like,
the first Halloween though. Like let's
I'm
let's
talking.
do
I know.
let's do
I
some
know.
of like the
I'm sorry.
most
You mean like in the, okay? So like in
most
Smile, you don't
recent
see that.
ones.
Smile, you don't see the entity to like the end of the movie.
But the
You see
entity
things. You see
that the
things happening. You see things happening, but you don't see the
but
actual
but the
entity.
thing is, we know Pennywise is like a horror icon. So to have a series surrounding a horror icon and you not see them the first 4 episodes, granted, in my opinion, he wasn't missed to me. I thought how they were using him being in different forms, I thought it was perfect. I thought it was
Yeah,
great.
I mean, I thought, but for me, I think this story, the show is about the town, not him. In my personal opinion, he is a part of it, but I think the story is more so about the town and what's happening there. And
Right.
then you have the Pennywise character that's looming above that. So it's like you fight because they're fighting systemic racism. You're fighting the government, and then you got damn, we still got to fight this nigga too.
But that's like watching Alien Earth and you don't see a xenomorph until episode 5.
I can give you a
I
good.
would have been
I can
cool. I
give you a
would have
good
been cool
rebuttal to
with that
this.
personally. What you got?
What you got, Ivy?
So I had to verify specifically. Um, it chapter 1, 135 minutes. Guess how much screen time Pennywise had in that movie?
Are
30.
you asking about Pennywise, actual Pennywise, or him
Actual
shapeshifting?
Pennywise, his screen time.
But now
I'm saying
what? What Jazz is actually mentioning though is the first time you see the character. You see Pennywise within that first 5 minutes
Yeah,
of
that's
that
what I was
movie.
saying.
She
Yeah.
mean the first
Yeah.
time you
But
see
still,
him
I'm
as the
getting
clown.
there. Still,
Okay, got you. I'm with you. Probably like 3 minutes.
I'm gonna say less than 10
More than that.
minutes.
10 minutes
Around
out of a
20 minutes.
135-minute movie.
Yeah.
Now, I could do this off top. It Chapter 2 is 165 minutes, 15 minutes. The antagonist is never the full focal selling point. The moment your antagonist becomes the main character and focal selling point, you jump the shark. You build the anticipation and the horror around the story that you're setting. You set the scene, you set everything. Once you realize, once some kids got eaten, you're like, oh shit, this nigga's here. He's just not that yet, but he does this. What is he gonna do as that? And you just build. You've seen some fucked up shit. It's really just effective storytelling, really. Because when he actually does show up, he goes stupid and he goes crazy. You have to use every single appearance very effectively. You can't just have this nigga doing backflips. That's how you end up with fucking Nightmare on Elm Street 5. You can't just have a nigga just there, just robbing you your screen. I know the check was good. I know the check was
Right.
nice. Like you got to make him earn it, but that appearance, like once you make that appearance, you have to make it worth it because you got to really set that ground. And there's not many ways that people who are coming from that Georgie first opening might be iconic in horror history because
It is.
that's the first time we ever actually saw Georgie's death on screen.
Mm.
Like, there's not many ways you can actually outdo that while having him as Pennywise. So you have to kind of get creative and go around it. Truthfully, as somebody that is as super neurodivergent as I am, that was a fucking that first intro was a pain for me to watch. That was a pain. Like it was over. I was feeling him when he put that pacifier on his. I felt you, bro. R.I.P. Maddie. I felt you. I felt you. They did what they're supposed to do.
Just one like sentence, like when you mentioned about over showing the antagonist, it makes it fail. That's why I think Terrifier 3 failed at. Like it became Art the Clown's movie instead of just having it be like pop in and out. So I definitely agree with that. Just wanted to throw that in.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say this. What y'all are speaking of is basically the curse of franchise.
Yep.
When you have a franchise character where, Freddy, the first 3 movies, Freddy was very off in the background. He make his big intro, fully near the end of the movie. By the time we get to 4, 5, even 6, they tried to go back to the old formula, but it didn't work. You live and die by the character now. See, with it is very locked in. Even though you're doing the Welcome to Derry thing, it's really just one book that you're feeding off of. And there's a beginning and there's an end. There ain't nothing coming back in the future. It's got to go in the past. So I thought it was really smart how they did it because the way he makes the big premiere, his big appearance, is probably one of the coolest appearances in horror history.
We got Pennywise on the pole before Mercedes got back on it. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Remind me.
He needs to go work at the Pink.
Remind me his first interest, because my mind, I don't know why, it's always the flashback to 1935. In my mind.
Oh, you mean in the show?
In the show, it was when he was on the pole.
In the show is when he's swinging the pole with Maddie.
Maddie came back
and he was
going
singing
down
the pole.
Oh,
yeah,
phenomenal. That was that was oh yeah, that was a great effect. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, I had to rewind it 5 times because I kept saying, "Where's the bone crunching coming?" And why is it? And then when I saw, he got
his head
that
start coming
cool
apart.
ass Frederick Douglass split,
and that was all practical.
I was like, God damn, here we go.
So we're gonna get to the visual effects, but I do want to talk about the writing within the story. So this is where I'm going to walk back a ledge that I was on, that Chris and Ivy, but now since I understand this story and how it was written, my thought in a black-led story must be written by a black person.
Sorry. I had to applaud.
So with this, right? I think Jason Fuke and Andy Muschietti, Barbara Muschietti, they wrote it. Now, what they were able to, and one thing I kept thinking, I'm like, how are they able to speak to this black experience so well? Now, of course, we all know white women gonna take down a black man, Sharon. We know that. We know that happens. However, what I'm going to say was now, Chris, your best friend, Cord Jefferson, who Jazz, I believe, was that this year? At the top of this year or the top of last year? We did American Fiction with Jeffrey Wright.
The end of last year.
Cord
Actually,
Yeah, that
Jefferson.
was 2023. That was
Mhm.
2023.
yeah, that was 2023 because that was episode
That was one of my
85.
first interviews I ever did with them.
Damn.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cord
I love that
Jefferson
movie.
was
Loved it.
one of the producers writers in this. But he was there to give the black experience
Academy
to
Award winner.
he helped write that black experience because his father was the military dad
Mhm.
that Leroy was within the story, which helped Leroy's character who grew up as a Will in his family. So that was something. So I wanted to ask Lisa, what did you think of the black experience in this story?
Um, I think that they did a good job actually of showing it from different viewpoints. Again, what happens when you're under the thumb, right, in the
Mm,
military.
hmm
Um,
hmm
and let me just say, the minute that they were interrogating Hank Grogan, and he was like, "No, I wasn't there," and they were being all sketchy, and they're like, "Well, then where were you?" He's being quiet. I was like, that nigga's with a white woman. I know it. Like I just right there off the bat, I was like,
I thought it was gay.
Yeah, I thought it was one or the other.
well,
Either one works.
honestly, for the time and the growing unrest and what they needed to happen, that's why I lean toward white women immediately. Because I'm like, this is, you know what I mean? Like it's got to be that. For what was
Yeah,
going
it's
on here, and then
1962.
yeah, so. And then even when they were creating the black spot and trying to make their own space, mind their own damn business like normal,
I mean,
Hmm.
it gets rocked. I mean, like they were nailing it, all right. And I love Ronnie, and she got a mouth like a sister, but there were a couple times I was just like, fall back, fall back.
I wish you could just stand around. Never mind. Mike, what you got?
See, I have a little pushback on in terms of, well, you gotta be black to write about black experiences because I also believe there is a stigmatized um station of writing in our culture where this show to me is what Cord Jefferson was trying to speak in American fiction. The rest of the industry did not pay close attention in terms of how he displayed race conversation, race relations, and the narrative between our own community, not just like our community against other in our own. In this show, can we just take a moment and appreciate that a black parents are actually listening to their black child? Hey, mom, dad, I see something here. Not, I don't believe you. You're making stuff up. The
Hmm.
moment he said, "Do you not see that?" And then he saw it. Now, yes, Leroy's a straight man, but also he represents a father that is dedicated in terms of just of putting, boots down the traditional man of trying to do everything for his family, military, yes, of like, okay, I gotta discard some of my emotions just for the sake of duty and responsibility. But then when it came to his own family, of course, yeah, he might have fallen short in a lot in certain areas, but I like that they showed that humanity, even in his own anger, that toward when he hit his child and everything, and that relationship he had with his wife and that banter they have, and they were challenging each other too. Of like, hey, why are you not telling me why we're here? Do you even know? Ask your head chain of command. We're here. What we're actually doing. Being an actual wife and saying, listen, as a husband, I'm just following my duties. And the black woman knows, right? And so in that situation, when they're at the river, now, too, I don't know why, just everything that's been going on this year with people drowning and of random, situations and stuff. It's just like them going fishing and stuff, and then he walks away, and then all of a sudden he's in the water, and then it just like I don't know that traumatically that's just something that's ingrained in all of us where it's a trigger, right? But the moment he pulled him out, he's like, "Dad, you not see that?" And he instantly saw the balloon, right? And it's such a small scene, but it's meant so much to me as a viewer that even though I don't have children yet, but it's just like you actually have a black parent listening to their child. And a lot of media today, we just say, "No, no, I don't believe you. No, I don't believe that that person touched you or something, or oh, I don't believe this happened, X, Y, Z," because they want to create the narrative, the drama, the black struggle within the family, the brokenness, the fracturing of the family. That's entertainment for a lot of people, not to me. So I think they broke that a lot in this show. But also, they're in the North in the 60s. Racism exists, but even though the big fear is a supernatural element of it there is also biases like, yeah, we're not in the South, we're in the North, but it still exists. It's still there. The fact that the police of like saying, "All right, just go on, black woman. I mean, I already told you I can help you. All right, well, if you ain't gonna, help me, then I'm gonna go MLK on your ass, and we're gonna actually knock on the door, and actually get some answers here. All right, let me pass this information documentation to that and in the north, in the south is like okay, lyncher now, boom. That's how it is. But I like that geographically at that time it made sense. It was keep and stay in the continuity, even though we're in the Stephen King universe, but like it's still there. But it's not like hey, I can easily, as an HBO show, to make this about racism easily, easily, you know. But that wasn't the main focus, and I love that because by default of these black characters going through their experiences, even as children, it's there by just terms of the atmosphere of black people in the 60s in this horror environment. So I love that in just terms they able to balance that experience, and I definitely believe the missionaries definitely got some phone a friend either one or several to actually get the full authentic experience of black people. Yeah.
What you got, Anthony?
Well, I think when you look at it, if you're a great writer, you can tell a story. And when y'all speak on that, I think of everybody remembers the Watchmen series, right? On
Yeah.
HBO. And so y'all know the story about Damon Lindelof in the writers' room. If we were gonna if we're gonna have a lead black character, I'll be damned if there's nobody who can't speak on the black experience in this writers' room. He wanted everything to feel authentic. He
Mhm.
wanted Regina King's character, Lou Gossett's character. You got to have some authenticity. Now, are there some great white writers who could tell a story about the black experience? Yeah. But at the end of the day, you still need to kind of have that muse to really drive it home. And I think what Andy and I don't want to talk to them like they're my best friends here, but Andy and Barb, what they did and how they captured it, that is the North in 1962. There were sundown towns on the East Coast. What folks don't understand, Jim Crow is a bird. Those racist wings went from the eastern seaboard to the western, and it hit all points in between. So the way they did it, I do love that they kind of drive that these white folks might be inherently racist, but Pennywise basically turned it up to 11. The subtle racisms turned into more full frontal in your face. What happened with Hank Grogan? Yeah, he went meet his white woman. We get it. He understood the situation. If I tell them I went touch one of them, sweet delicate white lilies, not the daughter, um not the child, we're gonna have a problem. They don't have to lynch me. They could just easily throw me to the wolves in the town square. Because keep in mind, 27 years ago, the folks of Derry slaughtered a whole gang of bank robbers. So he understood. He understood where he was. Leroy, he's in the military. And it's like I said, he had his nigga wake up call not once, but twice. It took him 2 times to finally realize, whoa, uh-uh. I can't be G.I. Joe anymore. I can't be G.I. Jamal. I just can't
G.I.
do it.
Jermaine.
G.I. Jermaine.
Yo, chill.
Nigga named Leroy. That was worse than all the names I had.
Niggas
Well, yeah.
It makes sense though for the time. Like a Leroy
Yeah.
time definitely makes sense.
Yeah, it's true, yeah, man. Look, man, that's that nigga Leroy.
That's top
as
3
it was
blackest
said.
names ever in the world.
True.
Or
But no,
Percy Jackson.
I really think they handled that situation, that part of society that is true and still true today. I think they handled it real well. It wasn't disrespectful. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't where, you know what I do love? The moment when Charlotte goes to town, a little bit after the neighbor sees them in the neighborhood. That's one subtle move. That's one little micro. But it's when she goes into town and, she got to it's not the townspeople, it's her. She feels weird because she sees all these white folks just going about their business, but none of them are paying attention to her because Charlotte has just came from Shreveport, So again, that's something that happened when you take a black person out of a situation like that in the South and you put them in an area where no one's really paying attention to them, they're not looking at the skin color, the paranoia sets in. And Charlotte was some paranoia. Leroy didn't have that. Leroy had a best white friend. Leroy had a gun. Leroy had the United States military had his back, wink. All was well with him. But Charlotte had to live in blackness for both of them in the reality of 1960s America. And it's not to say Leroy was oblivious to it, but Leroy had somewhat of a comfort zone, and that was the military. Because he's a commanding officer, white folks had to answer to him. So he's comfortable,
And they definitely
But
were.
then he learned, again, ring, ring. Who is it? It's your nigga wake-up call.
Hey, what I
You
was
can
say?
learn it.
So, what was it?
I just
So
want
Jack-
I'm sorry to cut you off,
go ahead.
Jason. Let me correct Anthony real quick because he was not white. Captain Paulie, I think he is Latino.
He's Italian.
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 Okay.
Okay, he's white.
That's what.
He's
Yeah.
white.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait, I thought he was Latino.
I think he is Italian.
What's the
No,
college?
Paul
what's
is
the college
Italian.
Latino?
Spicy white.
Richie.
Rich.
Rich.
is
Okay.
Italian.
Okay.
Rich is
Spicy
Cuban.
white.
It's Richie.
Yeah. And the thing is with Paulie is now in the decade where Italians are now truly recognized as white folks. This is 20 years in when the WASP white Anglo-Saxon Protestant white folks said, okay, our numbers aren't as strong as the niggers, so we got to bring the other ones in. Hey, Irish. Hey, McClarity, you come on in. Hey, Spajuli, Spadagul, bring your ass in. You're white folks now. So when the census come in, don't put your Italian, don't put your Sicilian, don't put that you're Scots Irish. You put Caucasian, you put white of the whitest white, and you are now a part of us. So Paulie is a white boy. He just, has a New York accent.
So what? And I think that was his actual story for his actual story as well, like his family coming into the country. But
right. I think he's a first generation.
What I was about to say was, so as you mentioned, of course, that first scene, and then of course the last scene. And I was gonna come to Chris and ask you, in the first episode, Chris, in that first episode, that last scene when we seen the mutant baby, we knew, what this story was going to be. What did you think of the mutant baby in the theater with the kids?
Well, initially I thought it was a dream. I thought that maybe it was just going to be something that like they didn't, that didn't actually happen, just because so many movies are so scared of like showing kids like die. Like even I think what Ivy was talking about, even showing Georgie, that's the first time I can remember seeing a kid like getting fucked up like that and getting murdered. Like it's just so wild.
Pet
You have
Cemetery?
say what?
Pet Cemetery?
Did they show him? I don't think they
The
showed
first
him.
one didn't
Nah.
show him getting hit by a
No.
Didn't
bus.
show him
Yeah,
get hit
you
by
know
the
what
bus.
Like
No.
remember in that in it though it was a long take we see
Yeah,
Pennywise's hand
Yeah.
as
they
George
showed him.
mutilated.
And
First of all,
it
George
was
should
the
have got up and
bite,
ran.
the actual bite on a child. See,
Yeah,
now a hitting of an automobile is one thing, but like the
The
actual
child being,
mangalization,
yeah.
come
Yep.
exactly.
on.
Bit
Eating
off
his
his
arm
arm
off.
as
He's
kid trying
screaming
to
in the
crawl
street
away.
Yeah, I've seen a
outside.
lot of horror, and I just never seen like a long take, and he's bleeding out. So for them to, so like, but since then, like even in going back to Terrifier 3, like one of spoiler, there's like a cutaway with one of the scenes. You just don't often see children getting killed. So it was almost it's refreshing from a cinematic standpoint. It's kind of refreshing because it really doesn't make sense that you have these wild ass psychopaths who suddenly draw the line at a kid just because they're under 13.
Mhm.
You don't
Yeah.
see that
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
I
real
agree.
life, and like just in the films, like in Halloween 1, Michael Myers doesn't kill Tommy for whatever reason.
Mhm.
You
Halloween
know,
ends.
say what?
He fell
Halloween
off
ends.
the steps.
They definitely
Yeah,
killed that boy on there.
I
Well,
he a
mean,
grown.
it was earned.
He wasn't
yeah.
grown. That boy was like 10.
It was earned.
Well, I don't
Bitch
mean to
ass
cut
nigga,
you
it
off
was earned. He earned. It.
What you got,
on
Anthony?
what Chris said is the reason why they cut the nuclear bomb explosion scene short in Terminator 2.
Mhm.
Because if you watch the extended version, when the bomb hits, you see children burst into flames.
Yes.
You see the children scream and they huddle down and they go into duck and cover, which does not work, people. And they start to turn into, it's a kiddie barbecue for one. So yeah, I mean, shout out to Andy and Barbara because in Derry, it's fuck them kids on a daily basis,
Every day.
Yo,
every day.
What you
yo,
got,
can I
Lisa?
just tell you that like the first episode, like not only did it set the tone, but man, that for me, that rug pull was crazy. All right. Cause I
Yeah,
was already getting used to this group. I was like, okay, I like this dynamic, I like this good kids. Bada bing, bada boom. Snap, snap, snap. What the fuck?
I'm gonna say this though. What was I the only person that thought they took what? It's not Phil. Phil was the tall one, right?
Yeah.
Phil is the little old girl's brother. Who was the little short one?
Teddy.
Teddy. Was it me or did it look like the mutant baby at first had ripped Teddy in
He
half?
did.
It did.
Yes.
He
It
did.
did?
It did,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, I
It
wasn't
was kind of
crazy
gory,
because
yeah.
because I knew it ripped him in half and then threw Teddy's face into the glass by Ronnie. And I was like,
Yo.
wait a minute.
Trouble. Trouble.
Trouble.
Trouble.
They saw all that carnage and said, you know
Yo,
what kills me about that? They saw the carnage and said, yep, the black man did it.
I
Well,
was like,
The black man that
No
wasn't even there, he
DNA,
did
no
it.
blood,
there's
nothing.
no
Nothing.
way there's no way a white man could have did this. A nigger did it.
No way.
Right.
Even though they in episode 7 they burned down a white man could have done it.
Right. No, but here's the thing: you would have thought if a black man did it, they would have all the blacks would have bust through the black stop, unharmed, kill all the white folk who did what they did, and tap dance all the way to freedom. Again, racism,
Yes.
hatred. Pennywise understands this. It understands this.
Yes.
It plays that part. And what I love about the mutant baby is that it also played on the fear that a lot of folks had during the nuclear age. When America goes into, the whole nuclear family and the atom bomb, well, a nuke, because now we're getting close to the Cuban Missile Crisis. We're at a point, the Cold War is at its peak between America and Russia, and a nuclear bomb could produce a genetically deformed baby.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's why it's playing on the radio.
That's what in the radio in the car when they driving.
And that was an actual fear back in the 1950s and 60s was radiation, too much of anything, but radiation would screw people over and mutate us. We wouldn't turn into X-Men. We would look like that damn baby. And what I love is the design of the baby because it's actually two babies, and one of them is being ingested by because of chimera. Because you have the ugly baby, and then you got the cute little baby face right here on the shoulder, like a tramp stamp. And every time the
On the
ugly one would
shoulder.
scream, watch it again. Every time the main baby would scream, the other one would smile. And it's Pennywise's smile.
Mm.
It's weird, but it's very quick. You got to pause it. So when
Yeah.
that happened, Pennywise is Freddy Krueger's step baby. Because
You
just like Fred
riding.
plays.
You still around
Was
with
that?
that. It's okay. No, it's okay. I'm gonna let you finish your point up.
Well, Freddie came first, but anyway, I'm quiet. Pennywise plays on your fears.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he said, fear fattens the lamb. It makes the meat tender.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're black, because how sweet dark meat. He stole that from Freddie, but I'm gonna be quiet.
he did.
But
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
everything that Pennywise does it's nature. It's not doing it for fun. It's nature. He's a predator. He's an apex predator. It's an apex predator. And it feeds on the fear of every entity it comes to. And it's a supernatural being. It's a celestial cosmic being that was around before the universe, before Maturin threw up the universe.
Which, I did. What did y'all think about that backstory? That Taniel and Rose, the story of, I guess where Pennywise came from.
Yeah.
Dope as
Of
hell.
course we do have, because you do have the indigenous story, in here as well, which I can't think of what that tribe was where they was filming, but there was a tribe that they had to bring in, and Rose is actually indigenous, and she had to, which I never thought about that, because it's kind of like someone from UK coming to America, be playing an American character. She had to play a different type of indigenous, from a different tribe. So there was a person on set. I can't think of what the actual tribe was, but he had to teach her the customs, the traditions, in order to portray that on the screen. But Ivy, I'm gonna start with you. What did you think of the backstory of Penny, of the entity that was hunting Derry?
Talking about me?
Your name Ivy, ain't you, boy?
I couldn't hear. Hey man, you speak low, man.
Whoa. You sound like Chief Brogan right there, bud. Go down there, man. The racist.
Yeah. So did you hear what I asked you?
Partially.
Okay, so the question was, what did you think of the entity in the story that Taniel told to Rose, aka to the Dick? I mean to Dick.
To the dick.
He told to Dick.
House.
I thought it was cool. Like it just really leaned into the lore of it, and I don't know. It makes one honestly. It's stuff if you watch chapter 2 trying to make sense of and just hoping, and maybe chapter 2 it can be explained as a good movie. You kind of start piecing together, but it's nice to see a lot of the shit that was not making sense in that movie. It's starting to kind of come full circle with it, so I really did appreciate it.
Yeah, let me piggyback off of that, Ivy, because when I rewatched chapter 2, same thing. I was just like, okay, I see what they were trying to do, but it definitely wasn't really executed that well in chapter 2, in my opinion. But looking at it in the series, I thought they did a great job with it.
Chapter 2 is a little bit of a letdown. Like it's not a bad movie by any
I
stretch.
agree.
Yeah.
His insults were top tier, though.
You said what?
Yeah.
His insults were top tier.
Oh, Bill Skarsgård is amazing.
Right.
I think the other issue is he kind of films like Zack Snyder, and he was filming. He said he filmed like 4 hours, and he had to cut it down. And he said I think you said it was like 165, I believe. He said even with that, he said the movie was still too long in his opinion. And he said that's why he cut out so much, and he's still trying to. He now wants to supercut of the movie so
It
people
would
can
be
see it the
6
way
hours
they
long.
actually shot it.
Mhm.
If he did a supercut like Quentin Tarantino did
Tarantino,
for
yeah.
Kill Bill, he said it will be 6 hours.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Well,
I mean,
but
that's what
I
he wanted to
mean,
do.
the
But
novel's over 1,000 pages long. I've
Yeah,
read it.
true.
yeah,
But
but
again,
But remember, a
sorry,
lot of
Chris.
those pages in that book, it's like a lot of backstory too. Like
Yeah.
It's a lot of
gets-
filler.
It's a
And
lot
it
of
was
filler,
the
like what happens
I'm not gonna say it's
pre-time.
filler,
I,
in
I
my
go ahead, Chris.
No, I'm not gonna say it's filler, but there's just like any. I mean, I know Lisa reads a lot too, so maybe she can piggyback off this. But when you're writing, like you can go into like setting, you can go into characterization that in a movie you're just not gonna have. So yeah, it is 1,500 pages, but a 1,500 page book is different from a 6 hour movie. Like 6 hours, that's nuts. Or even if it was 4 hours, like that's a little bit too much of Pennywise.
Well, I'm gonna just say you've never seen Reds, and bless you for not seeing it. But uh, um, I think one of the crazier things about it all is if you go into a movie as compared to a television series will give you more time for exhibition world, um, to explain world build. You can dedicate an episode to certain things to really drive points home. Um, Again, as you say, it is what 1,500 pages. It's an undertaking to convert that into a movie, you know. And part two, chapter two, I think chapter two was just like, all right, we gotta really explain. And they didn't even explain what is it, tune, the ceremony of tune and all of that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the Native Americans, the tribe that's in Derry, I can't remember their actual names, but
I
it's
can't
known
either.
as the children of Maturin. Like they believe in the god Maturin, which is the turtle god, which is Nemesis. And if you look into the Dark Tower and all those other series, Tommyknockers, Langoliers, blah blah blah, Maturin interferes, but it's kind of like the Watcher. It sends emissaries and little things to help you fight whatever evil is you're supposed to fight. So we're not gonna have, I don't think we'll ever have a kaiju battle between Pennywise and Maturin.
No,
But
you got Dick and Pennywise. He fought the Dick. But Jasmine, hello, welcome.
Oh, hello.
How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you all?
Hello.
good.
Yeah, we doing so.
Hi.
Jason's talking about the dick, so be prepared.
Yeah.
A little bit, no pause. But
Uh,
what I was about to say is for you,
mhm.
in this series, what was your favorite performance or favorite scene?
Oh my
Um,
gosh. I have so many. I'm just going to say my favorite would be the final episode. The way the intro of the final episode, basically, when he trapped the kids in the auditorium and was that who was that guy, the principal or whoever he
Yeah,
was,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, I
the
think
Principal
so.
principal.
how
Dunleavy.
he just ripped him
Rest in peace.
apart and start doing that dance that he does. And like that was my favorite part. Like that whole episode was lit. I'm not even from beginning to end. And my favorite part, of course, in my background I have it, Richie. Richie, when he came to help them, like that was it for me. Like I love
Tears.
Richie.
I
Like
cried
Yeah.
seriously,
too.
like I had tears as well because I was like,
Same here.
oh my God. I
Hey,
was so
Jasmine, we
happy to see
twinning.
him.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Amazing
It
scene.
was yeah,
amazing.
that's the on your left type. That's the on your left type
High
scene.
key.
Yep.
When
It
you see this
Yes.
little
was.
nigga run from behind him,
Listen.
Yes, like, and then he
Who
like
is
this.
that?
I was like,
Who is
yes.
that? Who that next to the
Yeah.
tribal warrior over there? Is
I was
that
on the plane
Richie?
trying not to
Exactly.
lose my
Yeah.
shit watching that episode. I was like,
I'm
oh
telling
shit.
you.
I
I
feel
was
like
standing up like like the Steelers won a touchdown. That's how I was standing up. I was like, yeah.
I feel like
I
we
do
was
have a
all Dick
question.
because Dick
Oh,
looked. He said, "Is that who I think it is?" And then we
He's
seen him. I
There's
said,
a goddamn
"That
miracle.
it's a
Rich."
goddamn
yes,
miracle. Yeah.
yes.
Well, I do have
And
a
flipping
question
him
for
the bird
everybody.
too.
Yeah.
Which was
What you
If
got?
anybody
improv, by
could
the way.
answer me.
Okay.
Was that the tribal chief of the children of Maturin,
Mm-hmm.
the woman, the
Mm-hmm.
warrior? That was Rose's mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Okay, I just
yeah.
wanted to make sure.
Yep, that was.
That was Rose's mom. Okay,
Mhm.
because y'all notice how her red goes from the top of her head to the middle of her nose, and
Mm-hmm.
Pennywise's goes from the middle of the nose to the
Mm-hmm.
rest of his body. They were
Mm-hmm.
talking about how they're connected,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that is Pennywise's second time really manifesting in front of adults,
Mm-hmm.
as and really manifesting the true fear of,
Mm-hmm.
which I still love, the fact that he came as a missionary,
Yes.
as a,
Mm-hmm.
Christian missionary. I was like, all right, perfect. And did you see baby Jesus come out the chest and get the stabbing? I was like, yeah, that's right.
See.
White
Did,
Jesus
did
does
y'all?
does
So
it to the people of color.
and another thing, of course, we have like these children actors. And I believe they gave a scene for each one of them, an emotional scene or a scene where they could actually show
Mm-hmm.
their acting
Mm-hmm.
prowess
Yeah.
that we've seen. And did y'all notice or did y'all catch like when they grew up on screen, like when they started growing up? Did anybody peep that?
So what happened
Because
was
They look
this.
a little
Actually,
older.
it was
I
like a
found some background info on that.
Yeah.
I
it
found
was
some
a three
background info on that.
it was like a 3 year it was a 3 year time, like not 3 year time jump, but they
Mhm.
filmed over three
Oh
years
yeah.
and the
And
strike
Yeah.
yep,
happened as well. So like
Oh,
I think
because
okay.
because
I
they
thought,
because
suspended filming for
Lily,
like 8 months, I think.
yeah, they did
Ronnie
because
and Lily.
Lily
I
said
thought,
she
I
was
thought I
no
was
shit.
losing
Nick,
my mind.
Mike
Will, the way
will for
Will
sure.
voice
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
changed. Will is his hair, the texture of his hair changed in this
Mhm.
as well. But
Richie was
also,
motherfucking.
yeah, everybody began. They said they have to change their clothes like 5 times. Like they have to retailor
Yeah,
all the
hitting them
clothes
growth
like
spurts,
five
huh?
different times. Yeah,
eh,
within the show. And I was just like, man, and
Damn.
you think about stuff like Stranger Things, we kind of get upset. And like that's over years, but this is just
Right.
one season of the show,
Right.
just
That's
seeing
Mhm.
the difference, in these kids.
and now you
Mm-hmm.
see why Harry Potter were filmed 2 movies at once
yeah.
because
Yeah.
of stuff like
Yeah.
that. Because you look up,
Yeah.
I always use me for an example. Just in one school year when I was in 7th grade, I grew 8 inches. Like
Wow.
Mhm.
that's just kind of just what happens. You
Mm-hmm.
just kind of look up, you're just growing. So smart decision that they made
They
is
did.
this is going to be this one cast is going to do this one show, and they're going to
Mhm.
have another cast
Yeah.
like
Right.
Strange they probably
Yeah.
should have done because I'm tired of looking at this grown ass nigga who clearly can grow a beard riding
Yeah.
a bike, and all I see is 5 o'clock shadow trying to tell me he's 16.
They could have now. I will
Whoa,
say
whoa.
they could have been. There could have been some.
I
They
started
could
growing a
have done
mustache at 13.
some time jumps. And my homeboy had nigga our
Yeah.
school nigga
Bro,
had a
no,
whole
the fool
beard
thing.
in sixth
It
grade.
connected.
The nigga
That's
named
what he
Corey in
said.
sixth grade. She was finna say Lisa.
Oh no, I was gonna say I'm glad you said something because I didn't know that they had like filmed over a period of 3 years. And I'm watching with the girls, and I'm just like,
They feel
They look
different.
different.
what time
They got
am
tall.
Yeah.
I old? Am I
Lily
crazy?
is a string bean. Like she grew like a beanstalk. And then Veronica, the actress that played Veronica, you can tell puberty hit her. You know, they couldn't
Mhm.
hide it. They could not
Veronica,
hide it with Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
With Ronnie.
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 I was
Yeah,
like, fuck.
you could not hide that she was growing.
Mhm.
You couldn't hide it.
The
So
only person you get away with it was like Richie was like Rich and Marge, like
yeah,
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marge has a baby face. Has an
Yeah.
But
old
that girl, she
1960s.
talks so like she speaks well for like however old she is.
Mhm.
She had to be the oldest or she's super rare red. She speaks very well for a kid. I was like,
Yeah.
bro, wait a minute. Like, what the
That's the
hell?
only
Mhm.
compliment I'm gonna give her.
Oh,
So let's get so
Ivy is
wait,
such a
wait,
hater,
wait.
man.
Bro,
a
So
damn
let's
you know
patty
what?
so
cake,
let
Marge.
let's
Patty
get
cake.
into let's get into Marge's character. Yes. I don't, you know what?
Fake as
Marge
hell,
She
bro.
pissed
she's a
me off. She
kid.
pissed me
Bro,
off.
she fake.
All
She a
right.
kid.
All right. So out of everybody on this call, who didn't fuck with Marge?
I came around on her.
Ivy didn't
I
fuck with
didn't.
her.
They tried.
I knew what
They
was
tried to
coming.
give me.
Okay.
I would have thought of her nigga being in the
Yeah.
dirt if it was the fact that I like Rich. I would have
No,
been on her ass.
right.
That's
No,
like in
and
a box, nigga.
I don't mean
But I like
I don't mean to
Rich, so
cut.
I ain't gonna do it like that.
Right.
Hell no,
No,
I do not like
What
Marge.
you finna say?
Oh
Intro?
my god.
Marge
said
is
what?
Marge is the stereotypical asshole who gets redemption in every teen movie.
Yeah.
You know, like
She's the one who
follows the
pressure.
pack.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry for being shitty to you. I
Yeah.
did very terrible things. You know,
and
it's my
now
bad.
I'm looking to be friends and let's make it happen. And then it's like, nah, Nick, you know, but Margie was not bad. You know, I think she was pretty.
She was bad. She was bad.
She was bad.
Yeah, she was
No,
bad.
what I'm saying, okay, look, again, she is a stereotypical kid.
True.
Peer pressure into the group.
Mm-hmm.
Group dogs her. Her eyes get shot out her head. She wakes up and realizes, oh, thank you. I was an asshole. And, you know, they tried. They really tried to get her to turn on the crew. And what did she do? She showed loyalty. She showed she's one of them freaks. She understood the assignment. And she had to lose her eye.
I will say, though, like, it was fake, but also that is great and accurate writing because she's what, 7th grade?
Yeah.
That is how Mills
was very accurate.
Yeah,
that's why I can't fuck with her.
Real, but like it's accurate though, and like initially I wasn't fucking with her at all, but like yo, she came around, and I feel like she had her redemption. I did think she was gonna die, but in my rewatch, it's so obvious that she's Richie's mom. Like hindsight is always 20/20, but the clues are there. Like I didn't even realize her being such like a goofball and like doing all like the faces
the
and
jokes
shit
and the voices.
Yo, she's 100% Richie's mom. But
now they should have. If they're gonna kill somebody, y'all ready?
Yeah.
it should have been. It should have been Charlotte. I'm just saying.
Wow. So you trying to kill black
women? I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about because I was calling it because if you see Leroy in chapter 1, you have to understand like this should not be a happy ending. We know that that's the son that gets burned up, but we know Leroy's still around. We don't see grandmama. We don't know where she at. So be like, hey, what would make it even more harder the fact that like, hey, I lost my wife. I've lost my son. Now here I have my grandson who's not taking this stuff seriously. So I'm gonna be more aggressive because I wasn't as aggressive as I should have been to protecting my family. So
is that where y'all vibes went for this story?
No,
I assume she divorced her.
So look. I didn't even think about. Like I kind of had a mindset of damn. I think because I kept thinking, damn, Will and Charlotte, they died in the last episode. Like that's how they get in the meat locker, right? But so no. However, I wanted Charlotte to jump in front of Pennywise when he was trying to get the kids when they were sticking a pillar into the ground. I just knew somebody was gonna jump in front of him because he was gonna grab somebody, and that's where my mind went. And I'm like, damn, somebody gotta go because we can't. Somebody else gotta go too. We can't just be. It can't just be Rich if you don't think it is leaving in this story. So we gotta lose another main character.
Yeah,
like 4 kids in the beginning, Jason. What you talking about? Like
it's not enough.
All right. Hold on. Real quick. I honestly, Jason, I thought that the dad Leroy, I thought he was gonna die because I was like, why else? How else would they stay near Derry? Obviously, if the dad's gone, then maybe the mom. So there's too much for me to leave. I'll stay here. That's what I was in my mind. So I was thinking. And no, it went a different way. I'm like, oh, y'all chose to stay.
Well, the thing is that I'm sorry. If you kill Leroy, then Leroy shouldn't have been in chapter 1.
That's the issue with that story.
Yeah.
So you're stuck with Leroy.
Yeah.
Because he raised his mic. And
yes. No, I couldn't remember if it was his uncle or his grandfather.
No, it's his grandfather.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jazz. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought. I'll come after you.
Oh no, but the whole thing with Charlotte, it's like I said earlier. Yeah, I get what y'all saying. She was in Shreveport, Louisiana. If you've ever been to Shreveport, Louisiana, you'll see why she's acting the way she acting. And in 1962, you'll see why.
I look at it like the heartbeat though. That's why. That's the only reason I say that. But Jazz, what you got?
I was gonna ask y'all because as the series was on socials, they were definitely dropping the family ties to the kids that is in chapter 1 to the characters that you see in the show. Do y'all think that was more so helpful for people as they were following within the show, or somewhat like, oh, well, if they're tied to these people that's in chapter 1, it's kind of like a spoiler to where they're not going to die. Like I knew Will wasn't going to die in the show.
Same.
Mhm.
So,
Right.
do y'all feel like it kind of took it away to where it's just like you kind of worried that they might, but you just like, well, they obviously not, because if they
Well,
got
one.
family.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Ivy.
I'll say because they hit the Marge one from us until the very end,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
but then they also flip it on your head with Teddy. So like
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah.
get Teddy, who is canonically that's Stan's uncle.
Mm-hmm.
He gets his body ripped in half. So
Mhm.
now you're looking at you have Will and now you have Marge, and you kind of you're just there to kind of pick up the pieces. You really don't know. So
Mm-hmm.
once you set the standard of anybody can actually die, and with Will again, with Will, they didn't explicitly say his name was Will in the movies. I don't recall, but
Mm-hmm.
you do remember his father.
Yeah.
So you kind of just left there to pick that apart. It's like, hey, is this the one that dies? Who
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
he? And whatnot, all that jazz. You
But
just kind
also,
of
oh, sorry. But also, if you read the book, Will's in the book. His name's in the book. It's synonymous with it. But again, that's if you read the book. So if you're a newcomer, I think it helps, because if you saw the movies and you're like, oh, okay, this is what it is, and then you watch Welcome to Derry and like, oh, so that there's a much deeper connection than just these random kids,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
you know. And what I do love is the fact that now, again, this is a cosmic entity. It lives outside of time. And I love the fact that Pennywise told everybody and their mama, bitch, I am everywhere doing everything. I am in my future. I am in my present. I am in my past. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so everybody can get it.
Omnipotent.
Yeah, he is impotent. But again, the Marge thing, I thought was cool. I was like, okay, yeah, Richie's mom named Richie after the boy who saved her.
how would you
I
feel? How would you
cried.
feel if you was the husband and you found that out?
Yeah,
She
oh,
was
that would have
adamant
been
about
even
naming your
better.
son Richie, and you
You
found out
don't.
that's why.
You don't.
Shit, it was
You
12.
don't.
Yeah,
You don't tell
She
him.
takes that to the
No,
grave.
but
Yeah.
Don't tell
like
him.
if you find that out, how do you react to that?
You don't get
Ah,
him.
well,
You
tough
don't get
tity.
But
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what I
Chris,
would do. I'm not gonna say what I would do.
Chris, you said you wouldn't get mad. You just be like,
If she was like 12, if she was like 24, then yeah, I feel away. But at 12, like, come on, y'all.
Right. But
All right, bro. So
Exactly.
okay,
Okay.
I won't be the bad guy tonight
Nah,
then.
be the bad guy.
Fine.
no, you the bad guy, Ivy. It's okay.
yeah,
I was
but
getting pissed when I
again,
didn't
It's too late.
even.
Too late.
it is the person that saved her. If
Fair
Richie wouldn't
enough.
have saved Marge, would have been
You
a
was in love with
Krispy
the nigga
Kreme.
too. I'm just being
Yeah,
toxic.
well, no, it's uh, patty cake. Um,
Anthony called it 20
no,
minutes ago.
I will say this though. I really thought there was a connection with another character, and I don't know. I don't think they'll ever connect it, but I really, really thought Lily was Bev's mom.
Yeah,
I
I
think
thought
I
that
thought
too.
that too. Yeah.
And I was waiting to see a little thing to say, oh, her name is Lily, but it's a nickname.
Mhm.
But her real name is Elfida. Is it Elfrida? Yeah, Elfida.
Yeah.
That's Bev's mom.
Mhm.
So I was just waiting to see, maybe,
I
just
thought that.
maybe,
And
it would
honestly, the way
a
she went out is like
connection.
in line. It's something I can see Lily doing.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
well, and trying to get over and forget all the
Yep.
things
Mhm.
she recreates herself, but she's still in. I don't want to say the loony bin in Juniper Hills. She meet up with a boy. They have a child. It's Bev. But whenever y'all start talking about Mrs. Kirsch, I got some words.
I'll say one
Oh,
thing, Anthony, you was gonna say talking about with Lily and Bev's mom, that connection could have worked, but I think that the show I'm glad they didn't have too many connections. I think it would have gotten
Yeah.
a little bit contrived and maybe even corny if they tried to
Mhm.
connect everything. And something that I was thinking about. So like in it chapter 1 at the very beginning, they give like a little like a blurb about how like more like a like 13, I think 7 times the people go missing, like 7 times higher than national average. Like for kids,
Mhm.
it's 13 times that. 13 times the national average. So the point being, you don't just have to connect everything to the losers club. There could be Pennywise could be attacking the whole school. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right.
go to
Right.
the school, so you don't have to connect everything back to just the losers club. You can just it can be their classmates, whomever. And I think they could have voted themselves into a corner if they were like, okay, we just have to connect to Ben, yada yada yada. Because now, I mean, not saying they should do this, but now the fact that Pennywise can go to the future, they could do future movies. Not saying they should, but hypothetically, this has been written
Right.
the way that door is
Well,
open. But if you just connect things to people we've already seen, you don't give yourself that opportunity to. So I'm
True.
glad they didn't do that.
But I think they saved themselves because he's stuck in a loop. If you remember what he says,
Yeah.
my death is my birth, or is it my birth is my death?
Yeah.
So it's not 1989 is the cutoff. It's a fixed point. That is his end. He told that to Marge.
Yeah, it's
Your
2016.
son.
Yeah.
2016. I'm sorry.
Thinking
2016.
about the
My
book.
bad. Thank you. I
Movies.
was in the movies.
Yeah.
But again, thank you. 2016, since we're doing Andy and Barb's run, is his cutoff. That is the end of Pennywise. So he's stuck in this loop where he's constantly being born and killed and born and killed. And I really hope they do have one more connection to the Tommy Knockers, because Pennywise is connected to that. Because the vessel that he is cast away to Earth, that's the main thing in the Tommy Knockers. So again, I think they did a great job, and a really good way to write themselves to go in the past, to do the 27-year thing from keep going with it,
with the cycle.
And stop at 1908.
What you got, Mike?
The only thing is that, because I'll just play devil's advocate here, where some people had criticism of, one, they thought this show is kind of a mess narratively, in terms of, one, waiting 5 episodes for Pennywise to show up, but then also the time loop of concept of it is basically, you rich yourself in the corner in the previous 2 seasons, where it's like, okay, this particular season you went back to 1908. So my thing is, and you did the Bob Gray storyline. So at what point are you gonna be having a full season 1908 of stuff we don't already know? It's gonna seem redundant. And on top of that, so that'd be 1930s,
35.
35.
Wait, let me ask the question. Are you have a problem with them saying this?
I'm not saying I'm having a problem. I'm saying this is what I've seen people
we're saying. Got
were
you.
having
Okay,
concerns for it,
Got it.
because
Continue.
at this point, like, this season was great in terms of, this the whole concept of this show itself, what I thought was very interesting. But it's like, okay, well, at what point do you actually wear out your welcome? Where it's like, okay, we get to a season 2 where it's 1935, and people are like, okay, right, we get it, we know he's here now. Are we just going through historical events, what's in the intro, and then the shootout scene in the parade and the whole thing, and then we're just, my main concern really is season 3, 1908, because you basically did the whole storyline. We know how he landed. We know the Native American people grade the pillars. We know that he got Bob Gray from the persona and everything. So there's not much else ground you have to cover. And we know about Mrs. Kirsch. So it's like,
I disagree, but I'm gonna let Ivy get it.
I feel like I'm not saying
saying
that's. I know you're playing the devil's advocate, so you're like seeing. I'm not saying this is your 100% your points, but I will say this: it kind of feels a little bit disingenuous in my perspective, because you learn about these events in the first It movie. You learn about these events already. You learn about
at the water hole.
Like these events have been talked about. They've been known about, and just because we know that these events exist does not mean you know the story that happens. You know that Pennywise has a goal in mind. His goal in mind is to, because he knows 2016 is in, he's going to do whatever he can to try to stop that from happening. And because since his perspective of time is different, he can't go forward because he knows he has a cutoff. He only has so many cycles that he can deal with. He has to go back. Or from our perspective, going back, for his perspective, going forward. So by the time 1908 hits, everything probably looks a lot different. And that might be the outcome. Probably he wins.
And one of these he's going to win. 1935 is the one I want to see, and I want them to keep it.
That would be fire.
I
Like
think he went
this
through
thing's gonna end with
35.
him winning. Like
Lisa,
they're not gonna.
Lisa, what you got?
So, um, okay, just kind of piggybacking off what you guys are saying, real quick, a quote, that a writer had said that was re-quoted later by Ryan Coogler was, with movies, you're looking at the most important moment in a character's life, and with TV, you're looking at the most important journey in a character's life, and that's kind of why I think the TV shows work because we know the moment. We the movie gave us the moment. We have the moment. The TV shows are for the journey. And that's why I think it's working and will continue to work for these specific 3 seasons they have in mind. And there's just a lot here to uncover in different creative ways that they can do it.
Yeah. What you got, Chris?
Just to piggyback again off what Lisa said about it being the journey. So like two things. One, the black spot in the book is written totally different than what we got in this show. So kind of going back to what Ivy said being disingenuous, like he's 100% right. These are everything that we have seen, except for maybe the specifics about like Periwinkle and Bob Gray and all that. Or even with Bob Gray, we've seen like this has been mentioned before. So none of it is new, but going to Lisa's point, it is about the journey. So like this entire story was leading to the black spot. But if you get from Maddie to with James Remar's character and like with the military, you wouldn't have thought that you would end up at the black spot. But really this entire story is leading to that. So I'm gonna like I think they deserve some trust that like even though we know like this is probably going to be with the shootout, like the mechanisms that are going to get there are probably going to be entertaining, and it might be a vehicle that like we're not it's going to be an unexpected vehicle to get there. So like I think people are just saying that okay, because I had the same issue, not issues but questions too, that like okay, like what story can they tell going backwards? I thought it was just going to be like literally just a new version of the Losers Club told, just retold. But also we don't even know if it's going to be kids, like possibly, but it could be teenagers or young adults. We don't know. So I just think that maybe we just don't know the exact mechanism we're going to get to that journey.
Yeah, I agree. And I want to make it very clear, like all the points you guys made was very clear. And I'm just saying I had one friend I was reviewing the show with, and it wasn't until after, we got the episodes, we interviewed the cast and all that stuff, and he's like, oh yeah, this show was horrible. And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? Because like the pacing's off here. Oh yeah, I really don't like the either the It movies, and the fact that it's going against from the Stephen King book. Stephen King is notorious for not liking changes to his source material, i.e. The Shining. So but my thing is, and also too, you got also keep it a buck. Niggas don't read. We don't read. We don't we watch YouTube videos of people who actually read.
Santana.
Can I give an example?
So it's like you basing your franchise off of the movie timeline makes more sense for a mass audience. But then to me, you kind of ride yourself in a corner when if you're just trying to stick to books and most of the stuff take place in the 30s and in the 60s. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. I'm just saying you guys make good points. But yeah.
Can I give you a perfect example about the journey?
Don't talk about your childhood.
No, it's not that. I've been every few years I rewatch How I Met Your Mother. And I remember my girlfriend in high school, she kept trying to get me to watch. I said, this concept is stupid. Like the idea of this, this future person telling this story about how he met his mom, it seems like this whole thing is dumb. Just get to the ending already. That ended up being one of the greatest fucking shows I've ever seen in my life. They would tell you they were planning future events, telling you, yeah, this happens this year. Oh yeah, this happens this year. This happens here. This happens here, here, here. And you're just thinking, if I just told you outright what all the events were, you think it's stupid. But when you're following it in a pattern, outside of that fucking awful ending that they gave us.
Thank you. I was about to say.
That ending was awful. But right until they pulled the fucking rug from underneath us, they did phenomenal because they're telling you stuff that was going to happen literally in the next season. They were letting you know when a certain character, something's gonna, like a big life event was going to happen. They're letting you know a season in advance. And you're still chugging along, chugging, and you look, damn, freight train, we're here. That's just effective, good storytelling, and good writing. The questions, everybody's allowed to question, have questions, but until you see you kind of have to just be for the ride until someone shows you some form of concern.
Mm-hmm.
With it,
Yeah.
I'm with it. I would, because we don't have, everybody don't have enough time to go watch How I Met Your Mother. You should watch P.S. I Love You with Gerard Butler. It does the same exact thing.
Yeah.
I just rewatched it.
You can.